Photography ethics. Is it okay to remove stuff from architecture photos? Hi, I'm Rick McEvoy. Welcome back to my YouTube channel, and this week, this is what I'm talking about. Is it okay to remove stuff from architecture photos? Let's do the read out bit first. This is the formal answer. It is okay to remove certain things in Photoshop from architecture photos as long as you're open and honest about what you have done and do not make false claims. Removing things that are not part of the original structure, such as lights, signs, etc., is just fine, as these are not original features. Removing things that are original is questionable and should be declared and explained. Okay, that's the formal answer. Now I'm going to just talk you through what I think about this. First question is, why am I rambling on about this week? Well, if you check out my blog, rickmcavoyphotography.com/blog, last 3 weeks I've been talking about a photo that I took. It's a photo of the wonderful interior of Bordeaux Cathedral. Now, in the edit I did in 2015, the lights were in the photo. I did a new edit last week and I gave you all the information on how I managed that edit. All the numbers in Lightroom, everything you need to know. And you know what? The new edit, which I'm quite relieved about, was much better than the previous edit. So that's good. I've improved in 6 years. Imagine my, well, I wouldn't have written the blog post if I'd been not been any better. So there's one thing that was bugging me, and it was the lights. High level in the, whatever, I can't remember what it's called now. There's a high level walkway going around the back. Check out the blog post. You need to see the photos to do them justice. Actually, I'm going to do the thing I shouldn't do here. This is very, very unprofessional, but let's give it a go. That's the photo. I'll never get this camera back to where I was meant to have it, but no, we're all right there. That's good. So those lights, I'm just looking at the photo. I'm loving the colours in the stained glass windows. Yes, they really were that bright because the way the sun was shining. Actually, it looks a bit bluey now. I think about it. I might have to go back and just tweak that. Love the photo. I love how I've rendered the interior. But those lights, I hated them. So if you go to the blog post, you will see the photo without the lights, which is much better. Now, obviously, when Bordeaux Cathedral was built, 10th to 12th century, I seem to remember. That's not a bad memory, is it, from 3 weeks ago? Not from the 10th century. I'm old, but I'm not that old. So, yeah, let's just talk about this. I'm not going to talk you through the blog post. You can remove. See, that's what I do when I read something when I'm trying to speak. I can't do two things at once. I'm not going to read the blog post to you. I'm going to dive to the headings without trying to read stuff, and then I'm going to talk about it, because believe it or not, I do know about this stuff. So how did I remove the lights? Well, I do my processing in Lightroom. If I don't have to use Photoshop, then great, because I don't really like Photoshop. I don't understand layers. I've got a mental block with it. Nobody can help me. But I'm fine with it, you know. I use Photoshop to remove stuff. I use the clone stamp tool, spot healing brush. That's it. And that's what I did. I cloned out these. Well, I do use spot healing brush first, and then I clone out the bits that I need to build it back up. So I know what I'm talking about. And the photo is much better for it. Is it okay to do this? Well, yes it is, because, like I say, 10th century building. It didn't have high level floodlights, did it? So they're a later addition. So it's fine to remove things like that. Now, what kind of things am I talking about that it's okay to remove? Let me just read you through the list. I'll talk you through the list. In fact, I'll read the list out to you. That's better, isn't it? Because these are the things that it is okay, in my opinion, to remove from an architecture photo. Signage. Oh, retrofitted lights, obviously. Displays, handrails and barriers. People, shops, kiosks, ramps, lifts. Collection boxes, emergency lighting, escape lighting. It's very important, but it doesn't half spoil a photo. Alarms, CCTV installations. I took a photo of Duomo, and there was an alarm box on the outside which I hadn't noticed, which was just such an awful mess to get rid of. So those things are fine. They're not original features, they're modern additions. There's not a problem with that. Now, I'm not just going to talk about historic buildings, because I'm an architectural photographer, so I do this stuff all the time. Here's a list of things that it is okay to remove from a new building photo. Loose gravel, bane of my life. Bins, bags of rubbish, skips, hose pipes, debris, / unused materials, vans, marks on glass, smooth panels, protection on glass, ironmongery, labels always get left. Those sticky pads on pieces of glass are always left, and sometimes when they take them off there's a square of the residue of them because they've been left on too long and they've been baked on by the sun. I hate doing them, absolutely hate it. It's only when you zoom in that you can see them, but one day someone's going to call me out if I don't do it, and I'm being professional and thorough. Ladders, quite often there's ladders in a shop. Yes, of course it'd be nice to not have the ladders in the shop, but life isn't that helpful. Even worse than ladders, the hardest thing on the planet to remove from an architecture photo: scaffolding. It's a mare. I hate doing it, but it needs to be done. For all these things I use Photoshop, not Lightroom. Lightroom's fine for the spot removal, blemishes, things like that. Oh, sensor dust spots, I should have put them on. And there's a few other things I have to correct. This isn't removing stuff, this is correcting stuff. Going a bit off topic here, but there's only 4 of them. Unfinished works. Quite often I have to finish off a job. Like on one job, the rainwater pipe went 3/4 of the way down, and the last bit, there was nothing. So I had to copy and paste the rainwater pipe with brickwork behind it. Sounds worse than it is, but unfinished works are the bane of my life as an architectural photographer. What else? Marks of decorations. See, with my Canon 6D, the resolution's so good I can do snagging works at home after I've taken the photos. Yep, the builder should have done that. He should have gone around and made sure these marks were gone before I took my photos, because I'm much more important than them, obviously, but it's something I have to do. Some builders are worse than others, and some are better than others. Believe me, there's a pattern developing here. Unfinished external works, bark chippings, gravel, stuff like that. And the last one is damage to grounds. I'd say on 75% of my architectural work there is a horrible cut in the tarmac to the footpath where the utilities just came in and chucked in some new stuff, and it just stands out. So I get rid of them. I make it blend in. Should I be doing it? Questionable, but clients never said to me, "Whoa, where's that horrible scar in the tarmac?" That really adds to the job. Right. 2 more things. My nemesis. It is absolutely okay to remove these anytime, ever. Number 1, chewing gum. Public footpaths, roads, school playgrounds are the worst. Chewing gum. You walk around, and having heard me say this, and you'll see it everywhere. It's horrendous. I wish I'd never noticed, but it has to go. And the other one, equally irritating, is gravel. Loose gravel. It gets everywhere. If I had my way, I would ban gravel and chewing gum. That would probably give me back about 5 days of my life every year. So come on, let's start a campaign. Ban gravel, ban chewing gum. What is it not okay to remove from architecture photos? Do you mind if I read this bit out? Thank you. Original features. By way of an example, in my opinion, it would be wrong to remove, say, the colour from the stained glass windows. I don't need to read this out, do I? Any original features, like I say, on that photo, check the blog post and you can see it. You got the sweeping stone coming up to an arch, and about 3/4 way up there's these gargoyles, very subtle gargoyles, but they're a break in the line. They're a deliberate thing. Don't take them out because you're making it something that it isn't. Stained glass windows, don't change the colours. don't make them black and white. They're stained glass windows. They're meant to be colourful. Anything that makes the structure inaccurate or just not real. So original features, you shouldn't remove them. You really shouldn't. The building is what the building is. Aging of a building. If I'm photographing a 10th century cathedral, it's not got smooth, flat, shiny walls. It's got scars, marks, gouges, everything. That's part of the fabric of the building. Do not remove it. Do not remove the character, life and soul of a building. I'm going to stop there because I'm in danger of going off on one, aren't I? The grey areas in the photos. Again, check the blog post. The photo with the lights, if you look at the top, there's 2 windows, which are not adding anything to the photo, but they were there. So when I removed all the lights, I removed those windows. You can see them. If I hadn't told you, you wouldn't have noticed probably, but I find them distracting. Okay, so that's it. The rest of it is stuff I've already said or stuff that you can find. Oh, replacing the sky. Is it okay to replace the sky? Which is part of this, isn't it? It's not. It's removing the rubbish sky. I live in England. 75% of the time the sky's rubbish and I need a new one. I do this with Luminar. A client has never said to me, why have I got a bright blue sky when it was cloud when you took the photos? They've never said, why have I not got that dull grey sky in my photo? No one's ever said that to me. All people have ever said is, I thought it was cloudy when you took the photos. These look amazing, thank you. So yes, it's okay to do that. The one caveat to all of this, you've got to be honest about it. Now, I don't tell clients I've removed things. I don't need to because I'm giving them the best representation. But this takes me on to the last point and then I will stop, please believe me. Competitions. Some competitions you're not allowed to remove things. End of. So, if you've done anything, check the rules before you enter a photo, or you might win a competition. They ask for the original photo. They say, where's this XYZ gone? You say, I've removed it, and then they say, sorry, you're not allowed to remove things. You're out of the competition, you haven't won. Imagine if that happened. How rubbish would that be? Realism. The photos need to be realistic and accurate and a fair and true representation of the building. Right, I'm done. Is there anything else I want to say? Check out my blog, rickmcavoyphotography.com/blog. One last thing, check out my Photography Explained podcast at the surprising website photographyexplainedpodcast.com. Thank you for watching. I've been Rick McEvoy and I will see you on the next video. Cheers from me, Rick.